as I'm just going to have a quick play of it. We've got a Dell B3465 DNF, and connected to it we've got a RFIDs reader, but latent readers also work. So the screen here is simply the same. Log in with your swipe card. This card is already associated with my user account, so if I press that, it logs in, and I can also log back out again by swiping the card at any time. That was added probably in 13.2, 13.3, I can't remember exactly when, but fairly recently. If I log in, I have various options: copy in, scan or email, print, release, and log out. The buttons copy and email, scanning are configurable on the Dell itself via the interface. You basically customise the kind of home page, as it were. And let me just press the log out button. What I'm going to show you here is some of the different configuration options. So I've got PaperCut up and running on a computer you can't see, and I'm going to change some settings. I'm going to enable username, password and ID number as authentication methods. This can take a minute, up to a minute, to update, so we should see this display change. You'll see something like connecting to server as it gets the new settings, and then it will give us a new interface. What I'll do is, if I hurry it up by logging in and out, it might wander off. There you go, device setup. See, so we've got there is, I customise that by saying I can change this text. So you could say whatever you like and provide instructions for your users. We've got username and password and ID number as options to log in. We can still swipe a card to log in as well. Okay, username and password, probably in all honesty not the best option to go for, as simply a lot of usernames are complicated and long, and a password often these days has to meet certain requirements in terms of length and complexity, and maybe you have some users struggle trying to find certain odd characters that they may need to meet that password. ID number is just a nice little way of logging in, so we use that. What I've done here is I've enabled the option to mask the identity number, and I've used the physical hard keys over here. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I press next, it logs in. We log out and unmask that. It may take a little while to update again. Let me get that back into. See if that's helped. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. See, so you'd mask it if security was a problem. Okay, so once logged in, let's check out the print release screen. So in here, my user has a number of print jobs. That was just refreshing from earlier, I think. Let me log back in. Print release. Okay, I've got various print jobs, and what I've tried to illustrate here is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 print jobs displayed there, and we've got a 6th one there. So you have 5 per page, and also trying to display the length. So one of these is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and that again. So that's basically 21 or so characters that it can display in the length of the file name. Okay, we've got different costing and pages I can print all, and if I sent a new job, I can refresh it and get a display. So I could do that now, in theory. And when we do that, okay, that's been sent to the correct print queue on my computer. And if I refresh, there you go. That's sorry, a bit at the top. The last document I selected was what's called print in here, which is just a page from Chrome, because that's what Chrome calls print jobs. As you can see, what different costing. So if I wanted to print, say that one, select it, it tells me what it is. I can cancel it or I can print it. So in this example, let's cancel it. Job has been cancelled. Thank you very much. And let's say I want to print one. Hopefully I've got some paper. and I can leave the rest of the jobs. Let's come out here. There you go. So I can leave the rest of the jobs in there to collect at a later date. Let me go back. That takes me back to this screen. Okay, scanning. Yeah, I think on this machine we can scan to USB, FTP, and email from memory. She'd like to click copying then, so that was a bit silly, sorry. Select copy. Okay, let's go for copying. Okay, so what we've got here is I can charge from my personal account, or I can search for a shared account if I've given it a number. So you'd do that maybe if you was a lawyer or something, and matter codes, that sort of thing. I've got various accounts here as just to display what it would look like. So I've got a long account name, which is going to show you it's gone onto 2 lines, and there's 40, 50, 60 characters there. Okay. In here I've got, this is a main account, so it's a top level account, and then I've got a sub account, so you can see it's main account test / sub account test. Okay, and I've got PR department. Now if I press home and I change my user settings to actually make him a member of a couple more shared accounts, 2 seconds, I'll show you how that works in terms of changing the display dynamically. Okay, hopefully that worked and was updated. So click copy. Okay, so you see this list is completely different. What I've added myself now to an IT department and HR department. Okay, so going back, it was only able to display the 4 shared accounts plus my personal account, and give me the option to search. So I can search accounts, I can list all accounts, I can charge for my personal account. So what I will do is I will use the search via account code. I've given one of my accounts a code of 1234. And it knows that who I am. I'm Ross, and it was the PR department, which is correct, and the PR department has £50 to play around with, so we're not going to actually do any copying of that. What we're going to do is go back to copy, and we're going to list all accounts. So this is all accounts, and if I had more than, it would go onto more than one page if I had lots of them. Okay, I can go back. So I can select personal account. You can select the arrow, or if I go home, you can select the body of the text. Okay. Yeah. So once you've selected account, you would do your copying, and that would be charged to that account or the personal account. You can't then go back and quickly charge to another shared account. You have to go back to the home, select copy again, select another account. So let's, in this example, take a print from the half of the HR department. HR is unrestricted, so it doesn't display the balance. Essentially that information isn't really important, how much money it is. I'm going to hit next to access the copier functionality, and this is it. I don't know. So I took a copy and we finished that, and then over on PaperCut's end in the admin interface, essentially underneath the shared account history, there is one colour copy job charged to that account and accounted for by my user account, which is Ross in this example. Okay, if we go to email, we should be scanning. Here you can see that the recipient email address to and from are pre-filled in with the email address of the user within PaperCut. So if you get your users from AD and they have a pre-populated email address in there. PaperCut will use that information. If not, you can manually write it in. I'm not actually going to send the fax because I haven't set up the mail server settings, but that's it. So I'm going to hit home to go back. Okay, and let me just go back to print release. As you can see, UI is responsive, and I can do print all. I want to show you how that worked. And another couple of features of this platform, there were various timeouts which have been extended on this machine, simply just to make my testing environment easier on me, because I don't particularly care if I stay logged in for a long time. But there are timeouts on each of the screens, and as well as on this screen would take you out in case the security is a problem. So most people probably set a timeout to be 60 seconds or so. We can track the USB printing. We can track faxing. You can change and customize the logo. As I've changed the text here, you can change the logo. As I confirmed, we got shared account keyword search and displaying from a list and things like that. And we can obviously restrict certain groups or users from logging on and taking color copies. We have a feature on this platform called Zero Stop, which basically means if you run out of money, PaperCut will stop you taking any more copies. The authentication methods, as discussed, are card, ID number, and with an ID number and a card you can also have a PIN, which is an extra layer of security. So if someone loses a card and someone else finds it and they attempt to log on to the copier, they'd be asked for a PIN. So, you know, in reality, the worst case scenario is they'd be able to access your stored print jobs and take copies against your account. So depending on your environment, whether or not you enable pins or not. Setup time, I think, in all honesty, if you had never done it before, you would probably be looking at 10 to 15 minutes. There's not much to it. You simply upload a file to the admin interface of the copier, all done via a web browser. You enable a couple of options in there, put in where the PaperCut server lives, its IP address, its port, you give the device a name. There's some timeout options just to make life easier to configure, and you also lock down the machine in the security options, so you can just access the copying functionality without going through PaperCut first. I think if once you've done one, you could probably do another within probably less than 5 minutes. It's not that complicated. Okay, if there's any questions, leave them in the comments, but that essentially is it. Take care, bye bye.